Hey there, it's Heather Fiore with Free State Nutrition. Just checking in because it's Tuesday, it's supposed to be tea time at the moment. Obviously in the car right now, so unable to do tea time with Dr. Smith in our office. So we're taking a little break from that, but I thought it would be a good time to kind of check in and talk about car trips and food a little bit. I'm going to put my sunglasses on because it's bright out here. Not that I'm complaining. So hopefully you can hear me. I just tried to do a video and sound didn't work. So anyway, hopefully it's working this time. So a couple of thoughts I have about car trip food, and then also specifically how you can still eat intuitively and mindfully while you're in the car. So the first things just about food in general in the car is, you should have your water bottle. Maybe yours is in better shape, but bring your water bottle so that you stay hydrated and don't have to buy water on the road. It seems like a waste of money and resources. And then your coffee cup too, same. If you're a coffee drinker, if you're in the car driving, you're going to need coffee. So, take your coffee cup. Why not? And then as far as snacks go, it kind of depends what your car situation is. If you have a cooler, then you've got a lot more options. Of course, you can make sandwiches, or you can bring sandwich makings. You can bring cheese sticks. You can bring fruits and vegetables and all sorts of stuff. But we chose to bring our fuel-efficient car, and so we don't have room for a cooler. We just have some, sort of snacks that are, a little more in the dry goods department. We had some fruit the first day, and then it was gone. But then, we've got some granola bars, we've got mixed nuts, we've got peanut butter crackers. We do have some potato chips and some M&Ms for some reason. So the thing about being in the car is that it's could potentially be really easy to mindlessly eat, right? There's not a lot to do. So hopefully you bring some entertainment, and for your family, if you're traveling with kids, you know that they're going to need things to do, and so maybe you've got books, maybe you download some podcasts that either you can listen to as a group, or maybe just you'd have headphones and you listen to it by yourself. Maybe you've got some music kind of queued up, but particularly if you're the driver, you of course have to pay attention to the road and maybe your directions, but there's plenty of brain space left that requires some kind of entertainment. And so a lot of times we look to food because it's just sitting right here with us, and food is tastes good, could be entertainment, so to speak. But I would really encourage you to think about ways to to kind of plan for it. You're going to be in the car, you're going to be bored. What are things that will keep you somewhat occupied, so that when you reach for some food, it's with intention, and you're thinking about intuitive eating principle of honoring your hunger. If you're reaching for food and you really stop and think about it, you're not actually hungry, then it would be better obviously not to reach for the food, because what can happen is if you start eating when you're not even hungry, it becomes hard to stop because you're not really hungry, so you're not really going to get full either. So before you know it, you've eaten a whole bunch of stuff, and what did it do for you? Because you're going to run out of food, and then a couple hours later you're just going to be hungry like you were going to be. So and that's not really, like I said, not honoring your hunger. So that's the first step, is you want to check in and find out if you're hungry before you start eating in the car. And then if you are hungry, then you can think about what's what you're interested in eating that you have available, and then it's about thinking about being sort of mindful, and you kind of have a different situation in the car than you do at home because you're not in a big rush. You're not rushing off to work in the morning, or having a short break at lunch at work, or rushing through dinner to get to your evening activities or whatever it is. We're often in a rush, and so you got lots of time. So take that time, right? And just think about, like I said, the first thing is the hunger. Hi, Jill. Hi, PJ. So think about your hunger, and then think about, doing some mindfulness eating practices. Like, what does your food taste like? Are you slowing down so that you can enjoy it, you can savor it? And do you, are you getting full? Can you eat at a pace that allows you to kind of get full, as it happens, instead of, kind of waiting for that? Because it takes a good 20 minutes to get that message that you're full. But you're in the car, so you've got 20 minutes. You've got lots of time. So take that time to do things that you don't get to do at home. Chew your food. Maybe you count your bites to slow down. Like I said, really try to taste, pay attention to all the sensations, what does it smell like, and what's the texture like, and all these things. Really think about all that stuff while you're eating. Another thing that could be helpful, because you don't have the visual piece that you need. So one thing about the fullness sensation is that we eat with our eyes as much as our stomach, and so you really, ideally, you're looking and watching the food kind of disappear from your plate, and that helps contribute to fullness. When you're in the car, and particularly if you're driving, obviously you don't have that piece of eating process. So if you put your food into like single portions, like portion out like a bag of chips or whatever you're eating, if nuts or something, put it in individual portions so that you can at least tell yourself, even if you can't see it, you can't really watch, but you can tell yourself, I just ate a portion of food. And it's not to say that you can't have more than one portion, but it is to let yourself know that you ate that amount, and it's sort of a natural break. Like, how am I doing? Am I full? Do I want another portion, or how am I feeling right now? So it's really kind of an opportunity to check in with all of those things in a different way than you have when you're at home. So I'd really encourage you to think about that. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to tell you about today. And I guess lastly, just on the fruit front, I guess, with your car eating, is that fruit can be really nice if you can, manage to keep it in your car. It doesn't necessarily require a cooler, but you got to keep it somewhere it's not going to get bumped around and bruised. But if you're able to have fruit, it's kind of nice, a little bit of a palate cleanser. If you've been drinking coffee, or if you have been snacking, there's not like a great, you don't really have an opportunity to brush your teeth, but eating an apple is almost just as good. So if you can have fruit in the car, it can be really good option. And it's also one of those things, if you do just feel like snacking on stuff when you're not that hungry, grab a piece of fruit, because it's like pretty much portioned out, and it might be cleaning your teeth and getting you some good nutrition. No harm done, pretty much. So that's all. I'm wondering if you have car trip tips for yourself. Hold on, Jill's saying something to me. Yes. So eating, it does take 20 minutes for your brain and your stomach to talk after you've eaten, for you to find out that you're full. And that's kind of why, if you scarf your food down really fast, in 5 minutes or so, you still feel hungry. And so it's really important to try to wait, to eat more slowly, and then wait before you go back for more. Because if you eat a bunch of food really fast, you still feel hungry, and then you eat more, like at some point later, then all of a sudden you're like, ugh, I ate way too much, but it's not obvious until like after the fact. So you're in the car, you got lots of time, slow down and, you know, eat the way you think you should eat when you're not in the car, and maybe it'll carry over. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.